Welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. The story I have for you today proves that this country is a failure, that Americans don't give a damn about their fellow Americans, that the mental health crisis in this country is a bigger mess than anyone could have ever described to you, and that this country just doesn't care. The person you see here in this picture is Kaylin Gillis. She was 20 years old, riding in a car with some friends in upstate New York, Washington County, New York, when their GPS went off on their phone because they lost cell service and they got lost. They used a driveway to turn around when they realized that maybe they needed to go back where they had started, I guess. And turning around turned out to be the worst mistake. Because at that point, it ended the life of Kaylin Gillis. They turned around in a driveway, pulled into a driveway to turn around. And with them never even getting out of the car, from what I have read, Kevin Mahowan fired 2 shots from his porch. With no threat to his life, no threat to his property, people literally turning around in his driveway. He decides to murder people in cold blood. What is wrong with this country? What would drive a 65-year-old man to sit on his front porch, wait for people to turn around in his driveway, and then start shooting? Is it the fear that he's been getting from Fox News? The fear of the other? Is he just is he crazy? Or is he just a cold-blooded killer that always waited for someone and finally had a chance? I don't know the answer. But I will tell you what the sheriff had to say. Washington County Sheriff Jeff Murphy on Monday said, "This is a very sad case of some young adults that were looking for a friend's house and ended up at this man's house." Now, I'm not going to show you a picture of the murderer, but I will tell you this is absolutely disgusting. You know, and I don't understand why people do these kind of things. Let me give you a little bit more from the sheriff. While they were leaving the residence, once they determined they were at the wrong house, the subject came out on his porch and for whatever reason fired 2 shots, one that struck the vehicle that Kaylin was in. It went on to say, due to the incident happening in a rural area, the friends could not immediately call 911 for help, and it turns out the group had to drive um, for miles before they can even get help, and that's why Kaylin is gone. The county sheriff also said that Monahan was taken into custody after officers had a back and forth with him. It says he was uncooperative with patrols on the scene. After approximately more than an hour of talking back and forth, he was taken into custody. The sheriff did not comment on the weapon used, but said investigators do not believe that he had any threat to his life. He is currently being held in Warren County jail. Now, this is just one of 2 stories that came out last week. The other one I will talk about on Monday. because I just don't have the heart because it involves a kid. But how do we let this happen? Do we need not just a lower age limit, but a maximum age limit for being able to own a firearm in this country? Because as you'll see, there's a theme here. Because the kid that I'm making a video about on Monday was once again shot by an old, senile man. I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody would have the idea that this was okay. That there's any legitimate reason to just fire on people because they're turning around in your driveway. That's got to take a very demented and sick person. There's no reason for Kaylin to be dead. Her family is shattered. I just saw a press conference that her father did. He's absolutely destroyed. Kaylin had her whole life in front of her. She was 20 years old. Just out trying to have some fun with some friends. What, are we just not allowed to do anything anymore in this country? Are we not allowed to go anywhere, do anything? Are we not allowed to make the mistake of taking a wrong road? Apparently, though, in the end, we don't care. America doesn't care. It doesn't care if people get murdered over and over again by people with guns that shouldn't have them. It's going to keep happening, and it's never going to stop. Not unless the Gen Z kids get in there and start voting and vote for people that are actually going to do something. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say ban all firearms. But we need to do something. We got to do something, right? We can't keep just letting young people get murdered for no reason. We can't let people get shot up just because they need to go get a loaf of bread at the local Walmart. This doesn't need to be happening. We could stop this. But we choose again and again not to. So, let me know in the comments what you think the solution is. Tell me what you think the solution is. Because I don't know. I'm beyond my understanding at this point. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyways, this has been the Big Ranch Show. To Kaylin's family and friends, let me send my deepest condolences. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry this happened to your friend, your family member, your daughter, your sibling. I'm sorry. I wish there was more that I could say, more that I could do. Doesn't feel like there is. There's literally nothing that I could say or anyone could say that can take away your pain. That can take away the sorrow you have to be feeling at this moment. But all I can say is I'm sorry. I'll see you down the road.